president seems to get a lot of beatings, especially from the United Opposition, and this time from one of the members of the United Opposition, that is Justin Muturi. And he has been accusing the government of grand corruption, scandals after scandal, saying that if he was, at the time when he was cabinet, he got a phone to, sign something that he didn't even understand at the time he was en route,
Those are propaganda statements. Those are statements made to whip emotions. Those are statements meant to decampaign President William Ruto. Justin Muturi was the speaker when Uhuru Kenyatta passed a law prohibiting the sale of unprocessed milk in the country. A bill that was going to confine the poor 1 cow, 2 cow, 3 cow farmer from Nyatike to poverty. A bill that was going to confine 1 cow, 2 cow, 3 cow farmer from Kwale to poverty, because you have been keeping 4 or 5 cows and the milk you sell to the nearest school, to the nearest neighbor, to the nearest town, and you come up with a bill that prohibits that. What is your intention? To impoverish the very people you are governing as a president. What did Justin Muturi do about it? He's the one who let the thing sail through. Justin Muturi also was the speaker when a bill was passed that prohibits the use of animal manure in our farms because somebody was setting up a fertilizer plant. So these are self-serving bills. And Justin Muturi was the speaker, the leader of the third arm of government. So he should not come here telling us about corruption. Justin Muturi was the speaker when SGR was being built. A railway that has come from somebody's farm in Mombasa to somebody's farm in Naivasha. And you still compensate him. This railway here should have been discussed in Parliament at length and abandoned because it costed almost 450 billion to Naivasha. And the revenue from it is less than $1 billion shilling a year. You know what that means? That we cannot break even in 500 years. And this is an obsolete railway system. People are using bullet trains, electric trains, and so on around the world. You are still bringing to us a diesel engine that will be obsolete in 5 years. And spending a cost that will be recovered in 500 years. And Justin Muturi was the Speaker of the National Assembly, an autonomous body from the executive. He could have spoken then. He couldn't have spoken because President Uhuru was his bosom friend. In fact, where I blame President William Ruto for having included Mutukama Justin Muturi in his government in the first place, because it was clear from the very beginning that Justin Muturi did not like President William Ruto. He did not like anybody outside Mount Kenya to be president. But President William Ruto, being the benevolent person with which he is, being the Kenyan who believes in all Kenyans, decided to include Justin Muturi in his cabinet. A person, the only cabinet member I have ever had since I was born, who after leaving the cabinet goes to tell things that were confidential within the cabinet and between him and his president, the appointing authority, is the only one. There is no other person who had walked out of cabinet or fired from cabinet or resigned from cabinet who would go and call a press conference to say the president did this, my telephone conversation with the president was this and that. That is petty to the core. In fact, Justin Muturi should have not even been allowed to be an MCA, let alone a CS. Very unfortunate.
But he says that he speaks for the people. For enforced disappearance, his son was abducted. So
please stop telling us things that are created by people and then they say, I told you how Martha Karua was trying to create a problem of taking us back to single party and then trying to solve it. Justin Muturi and his ilk are the people who created this idea of abduction. I have said here before that in this country when there were protests and people were arrested, they call them abductions. And I can tell you, Even the media was so biased then because every arrest they called them abductions. Does it mean Kenya is the only country in the world where people can protest and nobody gets arrested? People just get abducted. Can you see that nonsense? But when they found the abduction statement was raising emotions enough, now they even begin to create their own abductions. They would hide. Kama yule Kanyagia. They would go and hide and then raise emotions that, oh, Kanyagia has been abducted. He's been abducted. We don't know where he is. Then later he comes to say, I wasn't abducted. Then there was this MP. What was this? Koimburi? Or what was his name?
Koimburi.
He abducts himself to go and have fun because they have discovered when you tell the people of Kenya that somebody has been abducted, it raises their emotions. They begin to hate the president. And this is what these people want. There is nothing that is happening in the Ruto regime that never happened in a worse way during the Uhuru and Kibaki regimes. There is nothing. But because those ones were one of their own, they never complained. Today they are complaining because they don't like the community where the current president comes from. That is the truth. We will tell them the truth again and again until it goes home.